The major problem for Wyatt Earp, now that he was marshal of the cattle-loading town of Ellsworth, Kansas, was the Thompson brothers. They were gunslinging terrors of the frontier, and Brother Bill was wanted for the murder of a sheriff. Unless Wyatt Earp could rid Ellsworth of these killers, and alone, he faced complete loss of influence as a marshal.
Morning, Wyatt.
Good morning, Judge. Mr. Masterson. What's the matter? You look a little worried.
He sure is, Mr. Earp. A lot of Sheriff Whitney's friends want to organize a posse.
I don't want a posse.
They figure the Thompsons have had time to join their gang. They figure if you're going after them, you'll need help.
I don't like posses, Ed.
You can't go up against the Thompson outfit all by yourself, Mr. Earp.
A posse only raises dust. They're only as fast as the slowest horse. I don't think Bill and Ben will want to join up with their gang. My hunch is that they're hiding out in Bushwhacker section.
Bushwhacker? You mean where the Indians used to hide for ambush?
That's right.
How you ever going to find the Thompsons in there?
I think you might have something there, Wyatt. I can explain your theory to the men who sign up for posse work. Ought to satisfy them for a day or so.
Well, thanks, Ed. Well, do me another favor, will you?
Sure.
Well, I'm expecting 2 Indian friends of mine. They're about the best trackers I've ever met. And I'd like for you as the judge and mayor to meet them.
Indians?
That's right. Mr. Brother of the war chief many battles, and his partner, Mr. Cousin of the chief Yellowhand. Oh, and be sure to call him Mr. Brother and Mr. Cousins.
All right. What else do I do? Give them the key to the city?
No, Ed, just decent respect will be enough.
Sure, Wyatt. As soon as they hit town, I'll do the honors.
Thanks.
But Bat will tell you there's a lot of mean talk. It adds up to the feeling that you'd better arrest Bill Thompson quick, or a posse will do it for you.
I don't want a posse yet. I'll arrest Thompson myself.
I hope you do.
Aren't you putting too much faith in those Indians?
No, they're good men. So you and the judge think I ought to turn my job over to a posse before they take it away from me, huh?
Well, what if the Indians do find Ben and Bill? You can't go into that place all alone, Mr. Earp. You better take me with you.
You still want to be a marshal someday?
Yes, sir.
Well, then you better start learning what the job means. It's lonesome work, Mr. Masterson. You can't let a bunch of hot-headed citizens tell you what to do. You use your own head, get into your own brand of trouble, and think your own way out of it when you can't. But always be ready to shoot your way out. But you go it alone.
And the Bushwhacker?
Well, now, that's just a section of country full of rocks and brush.
Good old Bushwhacker. One of the nicest hideouts we ever found, huh, Bill?
We should have brought the boys with us.
Nah. Why don't you drink some water for a change?
Now, if Earp comes in here after us, you're gonna wish we had more guns.
Earp ain't gonna come in here. Even if he guesses which direction we headed, he ain't gonna come in here. He's got more sense. What if he did?
Hey, you hear anything?
If you stopped drinking that whiskey, you wouldn't hear so many things.
Lehaya. Mr. Brother, Mr. Cousins, shut the door. Come in. Mr. Brother, you sit there. Mr. Cousins, you take that chair.
Giovannini, American.
Mr. Brother, crack joke?
He says, Mr. Earp, first time we treated like American.
You tell him it's a good joke. But it's a little sad, too. As I mentioned before, it's a good bet that the Thompsons are holed up in Bushwhacker. You and Mr. Brother know this country.
Bushwhacker? Yes. Good ambush. Got many good scalp there. Nagalim Bacaldo, Ihiaje, Bushwhacker.
Long knife, Waitgen, Big Kakachihi.
He says he guides soldiers to White Cap, Johnny Rep Camp one time.
Bueno, long knife, Mogdagus.
He says soldier loose fight.
I heard about that. I'll explain about these in a moment. Now, I want you to find Ben and Bill Thompson for me. I want you to move like dead men's ghosts. I don't want you to be heard or seen. And you'll be very careful not to get hurt. The Thompsons are killers. They're very quick with their guns. Now, as to these loops of rope, I want you to take these with you.
You men wait here. I'll go talk to Marshal Earp.
Earp's just stalling, Ed. We want Bill Thompson. And a posse can bring him in.
There's a delegation outside.
I know, I see him.
They don't trust those Indian friends of yours. They want a posse, and they're pretty bad-tempered about it.
How's your temper, Ed?
Well, I think you're being unreasonable about this. It's no good just to say that you don't like posses and want to handle the whole thing by yourself. They knew Sheriff Whitney. They were fond of him.
I was fond of him, too. And I want Bill Thompson for his murder just as bad as they do.
I know that, Wyatt, but you're being high-handed and arbitrary.
This is my business, Ed, and you hired me to run it.
Well, at least go out there and explain your position.
All right. Well, Judge Miller tells me you gentlemen want to go after Bill Thompson.
We can't trust a couple of Indians. We want real action, Earp.
All right, Mr. Davitt. Then you can lead the posse. But before I deputize you, I think it's only fair to tell you what you'll be up against. Now, my Indian friends have already sent word that Ben and Bill Thompson was spotted yesterday going into the bushwhackers section.
Just the two of them, Wyatt?
That's right. But I want to remind you, men, that Ben Thompson is one of the best hands with a gun I know of. He's already killed 18 men in gunfights. Now, his brother Bill's not near as good, but he...
They don't scare us, Earp.
Well, they're enough to scare me. Now, have any of you men ever gone to that tangle of brush and rock before? Well, a whole Union outfit went in there a couple of years ago, as Judge Miller may recall. They were cut to pieces by a handful of Confederate soldiers. Now, how many men does your posse expect to lose, Mr. Davitt? Well, I'll give you an estimate. In my opinion, Ben and Bill Thompson shooting from ambush could kill about 10 of you.
But, Wyatt, if you lead the posse...
I won't do that. I don't believe in the idea, and I won't be responsible for good men being killed unnecessarily.
All right, you refuse to do your duty.
It's not my duty to lead inexperienced men like you into a massacre.
Well, we certainly got a long way with that, didn't we?
He could be right, you know.
He's lost his nerve. He's treating us like a passel of greenhorns.
Now, whoa here. I'm sure that
You
Wyatt...
stand up for Earp no matter what. Come on, man, we'll report back to the others at the meeting. Ellsworth may have a new marshal and a new mayor in about 3 days. Hey, Ben. Wake up, Ben. Look it. It's Earp. He's found us.
Judge Miller wants you to come to the meeting right away. They're talking him down, Mr. Earp.
Oh?
It's nip and tuck. Sam Davitt's trying to get them to fire you and appoint him as leader of the posse if they're not found in 3 days. The judge says if you'd explain to the whole meeting what you're
I've
going
explained it once. I'm not going to explain it again.
You don't care if they fire you?
Nothing much I can do about it, Mr. Masterson. I've said all I'm going to say.
Well, you can't just sit there and let things happen. They're calling you a coward. They say you owned up to being scared of the Thompsons.
Sit down, Mr. Masterson. You're seeing the worst of a peace officer's job. You sit still and wait. It's going to be dark before I hear from Mr. Brother and Mr. Cousin. In the meantime, I'm a coward, or I'm fired. At that town meeting, we'll just sit and talk.
It just isn't fair.
Well, what would you do? Lead a posse into an ambush, let a couple of them get their heads shot off?
Well, what else? What if the Indians do find Ben and Bill? It'll still take a posse to get them out. You can't go in there alone.
Yes, I can.
Well, here she is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that all you got to say? You give me more credit than that?
Well, you're the smart one of the family.
You'd be smart, too, if you didn't addle your brains with that whiskey. Took me a half a day to find this place. That means it'll take Earp 6 days, even if he knew it was here.
How about a swig of whiskey to celebrate? Huh, Ben?
That'll settle your nerves quicker than whiskey. I don't know why I string along with you.
All right, then. Go ahead and leave me.
I would. But you're my dear, crazy little brother. Now let's get inside. Still got some coal oil in it. Where are the matches?
In your pocket. Find them, you're so bright about finding things.
It's the first time we've ridden in here since the war, huh, Bill? What's the matter with you?
Look, Ben, look! It's Earp. I'm getting out of here.
Wait a minute.
Moccasin tracks. A couple of Indians. Earp must be hiring them.
But we can't stay here, Ben. They'll tell them just where we are.
That Earp. With all the sneaky, underhanded tricks. He's trying to work on me.
On you? That's for me. And I ain't staying here and being cornered by Earp and his posse.
Bill! Use what few brains you got left.
Yeah. Maybe I'd better. Yeah, maybe you'll turn me into Earp.
Turn you in! Look, haven't I always kept the law off your neck? You're my brother, and I'm stuck with you.
Just the same, I'm getting out of here.
Bill! Earp's not coming in here after us.
But why ain't he coming after us?
'Cause I know him. I know how he thinks. The rope trick is just to scare me into turning you in.
Scare you? That's me he aims to hang.
And that wouldn't make any difference to me. Had to kill a lot of men getting you out of trouble. Besides, what would Mom think if I... That's enough. Oh, for gosh sakes, Bill. What's the matter now?
I've been having a bad dream. I saw Mom.
Why don't you go back to sleep?
No, Ben. Honest, I saw her. She came to warn me. I ain't lying. It ain't the whiskey. Mom don't trust Wyatt Earp. She told me he'll make a fool out of you if you trust him. And he'll put me on the gallows.
How did Mom look in the dream?
Just like in her coffin. She was wearing the white silk dress that you brought her just after we held up the Abilene stage. Please, Ben, I can't stand here no more. Let's go hide in the old still.
All right, we'll go.
Start now?
Yeah, get here. Give me that.
Bad news, Wyatt. The time is up.
The posse forms in the morning, Mr. Earp.
If you won't lead them, I'm ordered to. Won't you reconsider?
No. I know what they're doing, and they don't. Thanks for standing by me, Ed.
I'm very sorry, Wyatt. This town's losing a good marshal.
Hey, it's Mr. Cousin.
Let him in. Oh, Mr. Cousin, it's good to see you alive. Where's Mr. Brother?
He stay near still, Mr. Earp. Thompson's moving to still after dark.
Which still?
I make picture. Moon here. River here. Whitecap north. Still here. Johnny Reb make whiskey in it.
Yeah, Buzzard's Roost. The old Ku Klux Klan hangout. Good work, Mr. Cousins. Mr. Masterson, see that he gets a fresh horse and a good one.
Yes, sir, but what are you going to do?
Just get the horse. Thank you, Mr. Cousin. You can tell Mr. Brother that your debt to me is paid.
Thank you.
Those Indians must have owed you a lot.
No. I sent a telegram to the colonel at Fort Leavenworth vouching for them so they could sell the Army horses. It cost me $1.25.
You mean they tracked the Thompsons just for that?
No, Ed, I also call him Mister.
You're not going out now. It'll take over an hour to round up the posse.
Ed, I told you, no posse.
But the time is up.
I don't care whether it's up or not.
Wyatt, it's suicide to go in there alone.
Maybe.
Mr. Earp. Mr. Earp, please, let me go with you.
Not this time.
But if something happens, if you're hurt or...
Now, don't worry about that. I have friends who'll bring home the remains. Cheer up, Mr. Masterson. I don't think Ben Thompson will be any faster in the draw than usual.
Ben? What you got there?
Nothing.
That's Indian for the last message.
Well, let him come. I'll splatter him all over these hills.
Yeah, we'll both gun him.
I want him alone, the fair fight.
Oh, Ben, what's the sense in talking like that? We can pick him off with rifles.
Because he's mine, that's why. He's tormented me and hounded me like a wild dog. It's me he's trying to drive crazy. Well, he ain't gonna get away with it. I'm a better man than he ever was. So you stay out of it, you hear?
That's fine, Ben, fine.
But I can't trust you.
Ben, I swear. What's that?
Well, that could be him. So you get on your horse, ride down to the river, and wait for me there.
No, Ben,
I've got a good mind to put an end to this whole thing.
Don't, Ben. I'll go. I'll go. Ben! Ben Thompson!
That you, Wyatt?
That's right. I want your brother.
Bill ain't here. You got a posse with you?
No. I came alone.
Well, that's just the way I want it. I'll be right out.
I don't want you. I want your brother.
You ain't gonna get either one of us.
Hold it! You're not very fast with your left, Ben. I don't want to have to kill you.
Bill got away.
Go sit on that rock. You get a cut artery. No sense in you bleeding to death.
I don't understand you, Wyatt.
Guess not.
You had a chance to kill me, and you didn't take it. Won't even let me bleed to death. Why?
I want Bill.
To hang him?
The law doesn't hang a crazy man.
People down in Ellsworth don't know that.
They're not the law. If you had any sense, you'd bring Bill in yourself. Sooner or later, he's bound to be killed. Maybe you'll go down with him.
Maybe I won't.
But then he'll turn hopelessly insane. A babbling lunatic on your hands.
Nah, he wouldn't do that.
Well, that's the deal I offer you, Ben. You bring Bill into Ellsworth, and I promise he'll be treated fairly.
I don't take your promise.
Wyatt.
All right. All right, you've made yourself a deal. I'll bring him in.
See you at the jail, Ben.
Wyatt, you didn't find the Thompsons?
Yeah, I found him.
Well, what happened? Did you...
No, I didn't have to. Ben's bringing Bill in.
You took his word?
Yes, I did. Ben's never lied to me yet.
Well, maybe the posse will get him.
Now, Mr. Masterson, you still want to be a peace officer?
Well, yes, sir, but
But not a plain fool like me, huh?
I don't think you should have trusted Ben, Mr. Earp.
No? Well, take a look behind you. Well, you're right prompt, Ben.
Would have been here sooner, but he got a little violent about the deal. Now, Bill, you're sick in the head, and this is the best thing for you. I give the marshal my word, and he give me his.
Put him in a clean cell, Mike. Make him real comfortable.
So long, Wyatt.
So long, Ben.
You were right all the time, Mr. Earp.
Sure. I could have been just as right and got killed. Or just as right and got fired. Yes, Mr. Masterson. I'm now a great marshal again. Well, that's the end of school for today.